Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Based on the comments from my last video where I talked about, the pros and cons of living with a Cambodian woman, the main response I got was, well, how do I meet these women? Like, I want to come over there, I want to have fun, I want to meet somebody. I don't want to be standing alone in my cold shower with a bar of soap in my hand. And that kind of thing. So hopefully this will help. But again, as I always say in these kind of situations, taking love advice from me is like taking financial advice from Bernie Madoff or something like that. In other words, I don't have what the kids call game. I never have. And, but if you're here or you're coming here and you want to meet women, maybe I can give you point you in the right direction. But as a reminder, if you like this video or any of my videos, consider supporting the channel. I have links down below for PayPal and Ko-fi.com, and if you want to help support the channel that way, it's very much appreciated. But I also have books for sale, and there's a link down below where you can find all my books, more than what you see on the screen. So consider that as well. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about is like bars and nightclubs. There are many of those here in Siem Reap, and yes, it's totally possible to find your one and only in those places. Despite what some people think, not every female that you will see inside of a bar or a nightclub is a prostitute or a party girl or someone just looking to get lucky with a foreigner or anything like that. Now keep in mind, I'm not talking about the girls that work at the bar, or like a lot of them are owned and operated by a female owner, and they bartend and everything, because their job is to flirt with you and make you feel comfortable so that you will stay there and spend more money, which is very smart, very wise, a good business move. But if they are employed there, or they own the place, or anything like that, it's probably best not to get yourself into a situation where you think that they actually are interested in you personally after hours, or anything like that. Don't be one of those guys. Those guys who go to back in the United States, they go to a strip club and the stripper's looking at them, and you're tipping them dollar after dollar after dollar, and you think they're absolutely in love with you. Yeah, they're not. So don't get that idea. Just enjoy the experience. But a lot of the women that go to these nightclubs and bars here, they're not in there for anything. Perhaps it's their day off. Most Cambodians here work very hard for their money, 6 days a week. This might be their day off, and they're just getting together to go out and have a good time, explore the city. Sometimes they come in from villages from outside of Siem Reap, and they want to see the big city, and they're just here to basically have a good time. But the first thing you should do if you see a woman that you are attracted to or that you'd like to ask out is to determine whether they are single or not. Do they have a boyfriend? Do they have a husband? Cambodia is traditionally a very conservative country. You could see 3 or 4 men, 3 or 4 women, and they're sitting at the same table, and you wouldn't be able to tell necessarily whether they are together or if they just happen to be at a communal table or something to that effect. Even something, public displays of affection are kind of frowned upon here. So you don't see a lot of couples walking down the street hand in hand or with their arms around one another. So you never can tell. So that should be your first question. Do you have a boyfriend? Are you married? And yes, that includes even in the bar. And if they're not, and you're interested, and they seem interested, well, let's let nature take its course. let's just put it that way. But you're not limited to just the bars or the nightclubs. In fact, my number one advice, if you're looking for a female that you would like to date, perhaps form a relationship with, would be the local markets. Now, yes, you are going to see them at their worst, perhaps. The vast majority of vendors at the local markets are female. And you're going to see them covered in fish scales, chicken guts, chopping up pork. It's very hot. It's very nasty sometimes. And they're dressed appropriately for that environment. So you might not see it. You might not be looking at them going, oh, well, this chick covered in chicken guts seems pretty good looking, But trust me, when they get out of there and they go home and they shower and they change and then they go out for the night, they're some of the most beautiful people you can ever meet. And I got to tell you, when we go to the old market downtown, we have a chicken lady, and she is pretty hot. I got to tell you, I love going down there and checking out the chicken lady because she's very hot. Now, don't ask me in the comments, is she single? I don't know. I've never ventured that far. I just enjoy going down there and getting my chicken and checking her out as she chops off its head, guts it, and then chops it up into the pieces I like. So, don't get the wrong idea about that. But there are really, seriously, vast opportunities here to meet women outside of the bars and the nightclubs. You're just walking down the street, somebody smiles at you, gives you a little wink. Just be aware of all that. Sometimes when people ask me, how how do I talk to a woman in Cambodia? I just think, have you ever talked to a human female before? As much as this is a new culture for you and something different, the fact is everybody's different. They're basically all the same all over the world. And the first thing you should do is establish whether they're single or not. And now, if they're not, and you ask them out, I mean, if they're not attached and you ask them out, well, there's your opening. Figure out, ask them what they like. What kind of music do they like? What kind of drinks do they like to drink? And take them there. I shouldn't even be saying that because it just sounds like very basic, idiot-proof advice, but trust me, a lot of people falter on that. So yeah, ask them where they like to go, what they like to drink, and take them to someplace appropriate and get to know them. And if a language barrier seems to be in the way, you have two choices. Either one, or actually three choices. Either one, learn the language. Two, don't let it bother you and just continue because you love being with them. Or three, you're frustrated with the lack of communication and then just leave. Just leave and go find somebody who understands your language, which I'm assuming is the English. If you're listening to this, I assume it's English. But yeah, there are just, I mean, there's no specific place you can go to here where there are going to be more or less opportunities to meet someone. The local markets, the bars, taking a walk around by the royal residence or the botanical gardens. You'll see a lot of single people walking around there. But as I said, first you have to establish if they're single or not, and if they are, shoot your shot, man. The worst that can happen is that they say, no thank you. But the best that can happen is that you might find the love of your life. So, if they say no thank you, no problem. Move on. On to the next, as they say. Yeah. That's really the best advice I can give you. I don't know what else to say about that. Because like I said, I'm not a player. I don't have game. I'm just like, here. That's it. But I hope that helps you a little bit. And like I said, check out all my links down below. I have links for PayPal and Ko-fi.com. If you want to help support the channel, you can buy my books. Check out all the other channels that I've listed down in my description. They're all great. They're all worthy of your time and attention and all that good stuff. And from Siem Reap, Cambodia, I will talk to you guys in the next one.